this is Jackie and welcome to the gym. Today we're going to do a really easy yoga flow, something you can do without props, without any equipment, where you just need a little bit of space, but you can still get the body moving, get all the spine going in each different direction, get you nice loosey-goosey. So let's begin. Find yourself down in a nice seated position. Really ground down those seat bones, let the feet relax down on the mat. If you want a grounded sensation, bring the hands on top of the knees. If you would like to invite opening, bring the tops of the hands to the knees, palms to the sky. Whatever you choose is up to you. When you find your space, start to drop those shoulders down, reach through the crown of the head, then close the eyes. Start to take some nice deep breaths here. Inhaling fully through the nose, and exhaling fully through the mouth. Try to lengthen those breaths out. Inhaling to a count of 4, and taking a longer exhale to a count of 5 or 6. We're going to use that longer exhale to relax the mind and the body down. Inhale to your 4 count. Take that long exhale out. Inhaling and let go. Continue with that breath work. Now, using that breath, guide the breath through the body mentally. Imagine as if you're breathing through the crown of your head, and that breath is being drawn all the way out through the soles of your feet. And as you draw that mental breath down through the body, take that breath through any nook, cranny, little crease and joint of the body. Allow that breath to smooth and soften out the muscles, the joints. Like a steady wave, let this breath wash over you, soothing, calming the mind and body. Take a few more here, really centering in, observing how the body feels in this moment. Thinking about how you can cater to the body, where you need to add a little bit extra work, and where you need to add more loving kindness. Then work the mental awareness up to the center of the chest. And in that area, try to reawaken a memory of gratitude, love, or happiness. And let that body, that memory wash over. Have the body feel that memory as if you are reliving it. And abiding in those sensations, in that memory. This is a great space to set your intent for today's practice. When you're ready, take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And let it out. We're going to begin with an easy twist. So we inhale, bring those arms up. Get a nice stretch in the spine. As we exhale, we twist towards the right. Planting that right hand behind us, the left hand on the outside of the thigh. Use that left hand to gently push you deeper in that twist. You're pushing through the meat of the right hand. One more breath here. When you're ready, inhale back up to that midline. Get that length. And then exhale, twist towards the left. Planting that left hand behind your right hand on the outside of the thigh. Using this right hand to guide you a little bit deeper in that twist. Both hips are pushed into the ground. One more breath. Inhaling back up to the midline, getting that little bit of stretch. Interlace those fingers and push those palms up to the sky. We're going to do a little seated side bend. So on the exhale, we drop those fingertips towards the right. Continue to push that left hip towards the mat. Push through the palms of the air to the sky. Keep the good gap between the chin and the chest. You don't have to take a deep side bend here, just enough to wake up the outside of the rib cage. One more breath. Inhaling back to the center. And exhaling, hinging to the left. One more breath. Inhaling back up. And then release those arms, bringing them down. We're coming into staff pose, so extend those legs out nice and long. Fingertips reached forward, so as you inhale, you bring those arms up. Exhale, give yourself a nice hinge. Reach towards the toes. If you can't grab the toes, grab the outsides of the shins, maybe the thighs. Put a bend in those elbows to help draw the chest deeper towards the thigh. We want to keep a good gap between chin and chest. So I'm not tucking my head down. I'm continuing to reach my gaze beyond those toes. 2 more breaths. Inhale, slowly roll that body up. And we're moving into our tabletop. So we cross those legs, plant those hands, roll onto the knees. We're coming into our cat-cow. So for cat-cow, I'm going to move to the side for you guys. We want those knees under the hips, about hip width apart. The hands are not going to go directly under the shoulder. We're going to move them out just a bit. Spread those fingertips. On the inhale, we drop the belly, gaze to the ceiling. On the exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Start to move the body with the breath. Getting the full rotation of that movement with the full length of the breath. Finding the peak of the pose when we find that pause between the inhales and the exhales. You can really challenge yourself by slowing down the breath. Slowing down the movement. Do 2 more in each direction and meet me in the neutral spine. We're going to be moving into our first down dog. So when you're ready, tuck those toes, inhale to lift those knees, exhale, push those hips up and back. Now depending on where your hips are feeling today, it may feel really good to take a wider stance, feet are wider than the hips. Or it may feel good to take a really nice and narrow stance. You could also bend those knees a little bit to push those hips up higher. Then work on re-straightening those legs, pushing those heels to the floor. Either way, our gaze is at those back feet or back legs. Fingers are spread, you're pushing through the palms of the hands and the fingertips. The legs are engaged, so those thighs are engaged, those knees are lifted. And give yourself a few breaths here as you start to pedal out that dog. Bending one heel, bending the opposite knee, and switching and reversing. We're going to go through a few variations of flow. That way you guys can choose as we go through the rest of this class what it is you want to take. The first variation will be knees, chest, chin, cobra, then back to down dog. So let's bring those legs to stillness. On the inhale, we come to high plank. Exhale, drop those knees, bend those elbows, drop the chest and the chin. On the inhale, you slide the body forward, untuck those toes, chest is raised, little cobra. When you're ready for the exhale, tuck those toes, lift the body up and push those hips back. Give yourself 2 breaths here. Our next variation of the flow will be chaturanga to cobra. So when you're ready for the inhale, we come high to that plank. On the exhale, you lower down the chaturanga, elbows in towards the rib cage. Inhale, untuck those toes, lift that chest up, the cobra. Push through the hands and tuck those toes. Exhale, push the knees up and back for your down dog. Take 2 breaths here. Our third variation will be our chaturanga to up dog. On the inhale, we pull the body forward to that high plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, flip those toes, push that body up, squeeze the glutes, push through the knees to the hands, the tops of the feet are pushing into the mat. Thighs are engaged, knees are lifted off the ground. When you're ready to go back to down dog, flip those toes, push those hips up and back on the exhale. Take 2 breaths here. When you're ready, we're coming to the top of the mat. So inhale, come high on those toes, bend those knees, gaze it forward, give it a little hop. And exhale, a nice forward fold. Let the body be loosey-goosey, that neck hangs, working that chest towards the thighs. It may feel really good to put a nice deep bend in those knees, bring the hands underneath. Or just let the body hang. On the inhale, we halfway lift. Nice flat back. And exhale, fold. Inhale with strength, we're rising up high to upward salute. And exhale, bringing those arms down to our Tadasana. Find yourself at the top of the mat. Nice strong Tadasana, palms are forward, feet hips width, roll their shoulders down and back. Thighs are lifted, so are the knees. On your inhale, rise it high to upward salute. Exhale, swan dive it down, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhaling, fold. Inhale, plant those hands, step it back to plank, and take your flow. Ending in that down dog. Give yourself 2 really good breaths here. We're coming into low lunge first. To do this, we're inhaling that right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine as you do so you can plant that foot between the palms, framing out those feet. Dropping that back knee, untucking that toe, you inhale, push the hips forward as you bring the chest up. From the side, it's going to look something like this. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing these hips forward, trying to keep them square, giving a nice deep bend in this knee. Gaze is forward. If you want, on the exhale, you can take a little bit of the back bend, leading with the shoulders and the fingertips, or you can surrender those arms down. The choice is yours, or take those 2 extra breaths and stay in the neutral spine. One more breath here. Inhale, come up to the neutral. We're moving into runner's lunge. So tuck that toe. Exhale, push those hips back as you straighten over that leg. Fingertips towards the mat. Now don't worry about getting the booty all the way to the heel. What we want is a nice straight front leg so that these hamstrings are engaged. You can do this by making sure the foot stays on the mat or lowering down and making sure you have flex there. You'll notice you'll get a different type of engagement in the leg as you change these. Find the one that feels right for you. One more breath. We inhale, come forward to the neutral spine. Frame out the feet with the hands. Lift that back knee. We're coming into our warrior 1. So we're grounding down that back foot to a 45-degree angle. I'm making sure I have a good heel to toe, or heel to arch alignment. Nice deep bend in that front knee. Using my breath and my core muscles on the inhale, you lift. Triceps by those ears. Square the shoulders forward, square the hips. From the front, we want to look like this. Nice deep bend. 2 more breaths here. We're going to come to a modified revolved warrior in just a second. To do this, from that warrior 1, we inhale. First, open it up. Flip that palm, straighten the leg, come to the heel of the foot as you drop those left fingertips down the back leg. Gaze to the ceiling, work that tricep by the ear. Really pull through those fingertips as you push that heel into the ground. 3 breaths here. Then inhale, bring the body back up, plant the foot. We're coming into extended side angle. So bend that front knee, forearm to thigh. Then work the opposite tricep by the ear. Now in your extended side angle, if you have a variation that you like, you can take it. You can come to the half bind as you bring the arm behind you with the gaze. If the full bind is in your practice, you can come to the full bind. Or if you want to work on your core, you're like, Jackie, I need more of a challenge. Other tricep by the ear, keep those shoulders stacked, chest lifted. Either way, take 3 more breaths in your preferred variation. Before we transition, I'm going to switch to the front. So when you're ready for the exhale, bring the gaze and the hand down, frame at the feet as you come to the ball of that back foot. Plant those hands, inhale, step it back to plank. Exhale, lower down and take your flow. Ending in that down dog. Giving yourself 2 breaths here. Getting ready for that left side in the low crescent lunge. We inhale that left leg high. Exhale, need to nose round that spine, planting that foot. Then dropping that back knee and tucking the toe, using the core to lift and pushing that body forward. Again, from the side, we're looking something like this. Now from here, you can either stay in the neutral, really enjoy that deep stretch in the front of the back leg, or if you lead with your shoulders, you can come to the mini back bend. Fingertips reaching through the sky, or surrendering those arms down. Taking your variation of choice for 3 more breaths. When you're ready, you come up to the neutral spine. For that runner's lunge, we tuck that back toe so you can push those hips back as you fold over. Working on keeping those hips squared. That front leg nice and straight. As we get ready for that warrior one, inhale, bring the body forward to the neutral spine, lift that back knee, ground down that back foot at the 45 degree. Squaring that body off to the front, find your foundation in the stance. Then use the breath and the core to lift the torso up, squaring everything off. To a deep bend in that front knee, this back knee is lifted and engaged. From the front, we're looking like this. Two more breaths. I'm going to pivot to the side so you get that that revolved warrior. When we're ready to come revolved, on the inhale, we open that body, straighten that leg, flip that palm. Come to the heel, drop the fingertips down. Tricep back. Nice full stretch here as you dig through that hero point through the fingertips. Gaze could be up to the sky, forward, or down towards that back foot. The nice thing about this revolved variation is that it takes some of the compression out of the knee. Two more. And then we'll be moving into our extended side angle. When we're ready, we inhale up to the neutral spine, plant the foot. Exhale, bend that knee, forearm to thigh, opposite tricep to the ear. Again, if you have any variations you like, the binds, the core, or even just resting in the alignment, take them. This leg is still active. We're taking an outward rotation. This back leg is lifted in the knee, so I'm not dropped down like this. I'm pushing that heel away from me. When you're ready for the exhale, bring the arm down as you pivot to the ball of that back foot. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, lower down in your chaturanga. Inhale, take your flow. Ending in your down dog. Give yourself 2 good breaths here. And when you're ready to come to the front of the mat, inhale, come high on those toes, bend those knees, gaze it forward, give it a hop. And then in a really nice forward fold. Halfway lifting and folding. When we're ready, we rise it up. And exhale down to Tadasana. Give your shoulders a little roll back, a little roll forward. We're coming into some more standing sequences. So find yourself at your Tadasana. Spread those toes, really plant down through the feet. Thighs are lifted and engaged. We're coming into tree on the right. So inhale first, bring the arms up to upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhaling, fold. We're using our core to get into that tree, so start to put the weight in the right foot. When we're ready for the inhale, we rise the chest, the arms, and the left knee. So it's inhale, lift, all one nice strong motion, a little wobbly, but that's okay. Exhale, plant your tree. Hands can be wherever you find stability. Your tree may be unbalanced. You may like hands at prayer, hands at hips, triceps up. What you want is make sure that this foot is not on the knee and not on the ankle. We're either between the two or up higher. Take a few breaths here. Find your drishti, your point of gaze that isn't moving. If you want to challenge yourself, bring that gaze up. If you really want to challenge yourself, close your eyes while you're here. Let's take 3 more breaths. We're going to be moving into half chair next. So when we're ready on the inhale, we bring the arms up and the knee. Bring that heel to the outside of the ankle so you can exhale, push that knee away, sinking those hips back. Fingertips reach forward. Three breaths. Then we're moving back into that warrior one. To do this, we inhale, lift, keep those triceps up, bring the knee forward. Exhale, step that foot back about 3 feet, grounding it down at that 45 degree, then re-squaring everything off. Put a deep bend in that front knee. 2 more breaths. We're coming back forward. So exhale, hinge deep in that knee. Inhale, bring the left foot up to meet the right. Then exhale, sink back into your chair. From our chair, we want those booties back over. So, knees are over ankles, pushing that booty back. Nice hinge. Weight is in the heels, toes should lift, but you want them planted down. 3 more breaths here. When you're ready, inhale, upward salute. And exhale, Tadasana. Maybe roll that ankle out a little bit. Release some of the tightness in the tops of the feet. And then when we're ready, let's ground down back in that Tadasana for our opposite side. Inhaling, rising. And exhale, hinging forward. Inhaling, halfway lift, nice flat back. And exhale, fold. This time we put the weight in the left foot and we're going to rise with the breath, the triceps, the chest, and the knee. So inhale, lifting, nice and controlled. And exhale, planting. Now here you may begin to really notice the difference between your right and left sides. So, your tree might be a little bit different. If you're down here, that's fine. If you're up here on this side, that is fine. Just try to find a space where you can try to cultivate that stillness. Find your drishti, your point that isn't moving, and work on maintaining that stillness. Trying to get the sway out of the feet, the sway out of the shoulders. We're working the stability, grounding down through the feet. We're going to be moving into that half chair next, so I'm going to pivot to the side so you guys can get a better idea of it. When we're ready, we inhale the triceps up with the knee, hooking that right knee under top, the right ankle over the left knee, and exhale, pushing back as you sink. Three more breaths here. We're moving into that warrior one. So on the inhale, we lift, release. Exhale, step it back, ground it down, bend that front knee, pivot the body forward. Maybe play with your stance. We want to keep this back leg lifted and the front knee over that ankle. Now you could be a little bit here, you could be here, you could be here. What you're looking for is that this back knee is dropped. We want that foot placed onto the mat. Everything is squared forward. We have one more breath, then we're coming to that chair. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, bring the right foot to meet the left. Change your alignments and try to sink back with each exhale. One more breath here. Then inhale, upward salute. And exhale down to Tadasana. Give those shoulders a little roll, rolling back, rolling forward. Let's ground everything down. Inhale, bring those arms up, interlace those fingers, push the palms to the sky. Maybe bring the feet a little bit wider. And exhale, hinge to one side. Inhaling up. And exhaling, hinge to the other. Inhaling up. Release, bring the hands behind the back. Interlace those fingers and push those knuckles down. Keep those legs engaged. We're not locking the knees. Pushing those knuckles away from us. We exhale, push the hips back as we hinge at the hips. Working those knuckles towards the sky as you work that chest down towards the thigh. Try to relax through the neck and head here. One more breath. Inhale, rise. And release. We're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So feet are as wide as your mat or wider. Heels are in, toes are out. I'm not locking these knee joints, so I'm keeping that soft bend. We're coming into a fold, so inhaling those arms up. Exhaling, hinge as you push the hips back, leading with those fingertips and the crown of the head towards the mat. When you're down here, it may feel good. Maybe heel toe those feet out a little bit wider. But we're playing with the weight position here. So my weight isn't back in those heels. I'm not pushing the booty back. I want to fold. So I'm bringing my weight towards those toes as I bend those elbows, trying to get the head closer towards the mat. 3 more breaths. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the left hand underneath the head. Then we're bringing the right arm up to the sky with the gaze. One more breath here. Bring the arm down with the gaze, switching hands. Then inhaling the left arm up. One more. And exhale, bring it down. Try to come down a little bit deeper. If you're tripod handstander. This is a great place to pike it up. If you don't know what that means, do not do it. I can't do it, so I'm not going to demo it, but we'll be here for just a few more breaths, so if it's in your practice, take it. If you're a headstander, bring that pike back down. We're all going to inhale, halfway lift. Heel toe those feet and knees together. And then end in a really nice forward fold. Inhale, we're rising high all the way back up. And exhale into our Tadasana. Inhale, rise it. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, plant those hands, step it back to plank. Take your final vinyasa here. That final little flow from chaturanga to up dog, or whatever it is you want. Ending in that down dog. We're coming into one of my favorite positions, which is lizard. So we're inhaling the right leg high. When we exhale, that knee comes to the outside of the elbow so we can plant that foot on the outside of the hands. The back knee is lifted and engaged. Now lizard's super fun because you can do a lot of stuff here. You can stay nice and high. You can roll to the side. You can drop that knee and tuck that toe, push those hips forward, spread the chest. You can also come down into those forearms. And if you're super bendy, you get that chest into the mat. Either way, we're here for 5 breaths. So take your lizard of choice. I like to be here. Just feels really good on those hip flexors. We're going to be moving into a soft pigeon. So plant that foot, plant those hands. We're all coming into that high lizard. Tucking that toe, lifting that back knee. I'm going to heel toe this foot all the way over so I can plant that shin down. Now I want to keep my back hips safe, so I'm bringing this heel a little bit closer towards my hip. This knee is on the inside of my wrist, so I can drop that back knee and tuck that toe. Slowly work the chest onto the ground, then extending those arms out. Really enjoying this soft pigeon. In our yin practice, it's called sleeping swan. We don't have to worry about keeping the shin squared with the corner of our mat here. We just want a nice, safe fold, a little stretch in the back of the glutes. Two more breaths. We're going to be moving into half frog. So plant those hands underneath the shoulders, lift that chest up. Maybe you want to tuck that toe, lift that knee. Either way, we're sliding this knee out to the side, untucking that toe, putting that knee back down. This foot is flexing out. As I lower my chest down, my chin is going to come onto my hands. I'm working on bringing this right knee up towards that right elbow while keeping that back foot flexed. The left leg is working on being completely relaxed. One more breath. Then inhale, push up. As you tuck that toe, lift the body back to plank, then to your down dog. Give yourself a good breath here before we do the left side. Then inhale that left leg up, and exhale, find that lizard on the left as we bring that foot to the outside of the hand. Again, lizard's up to you. You can stay high, you can do a modified high, you can come all the way down low. Take your lizard variation. Sometimes for my left side, because it's my weaker side, I like to take a little bit of a twist here. balance to the body. And as we explore greater depths in our yoga practice, we will begin to notice that the left and right sides need different variations of the poses. So as we internalize, scan through that body, you'll start to pick up on those little cues that your body wants a slightly different alignment. And it's always okay to take that. You don't have to be completely symmetric in your poses. One more breath. We're coming into that soft pigeon, so planting those hands, maybe tucking that toe, lifting that knee so we can heel toe this guy in, dropping that shin down nice and soft, not square, untucking that toe, dropping that back knee. You can stay high or work that chest down onto the thigh, extending those arms out. One more breath. And then when we inhale, we push through the palms, hands underneath those shoulders. We're coming to that half frog, so tuck that toe, lift that knee, bring the shin back out to the side, untucking that toe, dropping that knee down, back foot is flexed. Start to bring the chest down to the ground as you work those elbows out, chin resting on top of the elbows, trying to work that left knee all the way towards that left elbow, trying to keep that right leg nice and flat and relaxed. One more breath here. Then inhale, plant through those hands, tuck that toe, lift that knee, push the body up, step into plank, and back to that final down dog. Make this one your best. Try to really see if you can get those legs straighter as you push those heels towards the mat. Or maybe working on getting those hips a little bit higher. One more breath here. And we bring the body forward, planting those shins and knees down, and coming into just a nice hero pose. We're coming into ankle stretch, so if you have sensitive ankles, maybe grab a blanket or just fold your mat in half. Because what we're going to do is we're pushing these ankles into the ground. My booties resting on top of them. Hands come behind me. Nice soft bend in those elbows. Now I could stay here if this is already intense. Or as I bend those elbows, I start to bring those knees up towards the sky, giving myself a nice deep stretch in the tops of the ankles. You can single it out, or you can try to come super deep and work on your balance. Either way, give yourself 3 more breaths. And drop those knees down. We're coming in the toe stretch. So we tuck those toes. Make sure the little pinky guy comes along for the ride. And just let the booty rest back on those heels. While we're here in this toe stretch, we're going to take some arm variations. So I'm going to switch the face here. Our first arm variation is going to be our Gomukhasana arms. So right arm down, left arm on top, we interlace. Try to wrap those palms together, then lift those elbows up by the nose. Inhale, bring those elbows to the sky. Exhale, work on bringing those elbows down towards the thigh, but we're not going to quite touch. Just enough of a fold until it feels like that booty's going to lift. Then inhaling up, releasing. Wrap the hands behind you, interlace those fingers, push those knuckles down, drop that chin to the chest. Take a nice deep breath here. And then release. This time left arm down first, right arm on top. We interlace and lift. Inhaling those forearms and that elbow up to the sky. And exhaling, hinging just as far until we feel like that booty's going to lift off our heels. Releasing, bringing those hands behind the back. One last time, interlace those fingers, tuck those knuckles down, chin the chest. Take one more breath here. When we release, we drop those toes out, getting ready for our forward fold. So, release that mat back out. Legs nice and long. Get that pre-tilt in the pelvic. This was our last fold, so inhale, bring those arms up. Then exhale, hinge. See if you get a little bit of extra length here this evening. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, roll that body up. As we exhale, we slide onto our backs. Nice and controlled. Slowly bring that body down. And those knees into the chest. Give them a nice tuck so that lower lumbar lifts. Extending the left leg nice and long. Right shin into the hand. Left arm out like a goalpost. On the inhale, we open towards that right side. Just enough until we feel like that left side is going to lift off the mat. But we want to keep everything grounded down. One more breath. Inhale, draw that shin over, switch those hands, and come into the twist. Work that right shoulder into the mat. One more breath here. Coming back to that midline. Switching shins. Pulling in nice and tight, bringing that right arm out to goalpost. As we grab the shin with the left, we inhale, open to the left side. Keeping that right side ground down. It's just a little opening. Then pulling that shin back to the midline, switching hands, left arm comes out to a goalpost. And then exhale, twist towards the right side, gaze over towards that left. Inhaling, going back to the midline, bringing both knees in. Now we're coming into our inversion. So if you have a particular inversion that you like to practice, feel free to take it. I'm going to show imaginary legs at the wall. So leading with my heels, I kick those feet towards the ceiling. I can use my hands to help keep those legs nice and straight, or I can let them drop a little bit and leave the arms out to the side. Maybe put a little soft bend in there so I don't overstretch through my hammies. Either way, I'm going to give myself 5 deep breaths here. I'm going to work on bringing those knees slowly back into the chest. When those knees are in your chest, take any other movement you want, any little shifts, any other poses, anything that might not be a yoga pose. And then when you're ready, extending everything nice and long and wide for your Shavasana. Start coming back to those breaths we did at the beginning. Inhaling to the counts of 4. Exhaling to the counts of 5 or 6. Using that longer exhale to take you down a little bit deeper. Now if you like a nice long Shavasana, you can pause here and then play again when you're ready to come out. Or if you want something a little bit shorter because of time, just stay with me. Stay with that deep breath. Inhaling, relax the face. Exhale, relax and calm the mind and body. Inhaling and exhaling. some gentle movements into those fingers and toes. Maybe give the neck a good stretch from side to side. And with the eyes closed, in as little motion as you can, try to bring those knees into the chest before surrendering over to the side that serves you. Sealing in that practice in the fetal position. Maybe come back to the intent if you set one, or just honor yourself where you are, here and now. Take one more deep inhale through the nose. Letting it go. With the eyes closed, you'll push your way up to your seated position. Finding your easy seat and bringing the hands to heart center. The light in me honors and respects the same divine light in each of you, and all that we think, do, and say. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I'm not used to home videos, so I hope it was good for you guys. If you want to find any more fun stuff we're doing, feel free to follow the Instagram for FitFusion Wellness, or follow my personal one at Jack's Finitorium. Thank you guys.